is a lamp unto my feet, and a light unto my path. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet, and a light unto my path.
First reading. A reading from the prophet Isaiah, chapter 2, verses 1 to 5. This is what Isaiah, son of Amoz, saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. In days to come, the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established as the highest mountain and raised above the hills. All nations shall stream toward it. Many peoples shall come and say, Come, let us climb the Lord's mountain, to the house of the God of Jacob, that he may instruct us in his ways, and we may walk in his paths. For from Zion shall go forth instruction, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. He shall judge between the nations, and impose terms on many peoples. They shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. One nation shall not raise the sword against another, nor shall they train for war again. O house of Jacob, come, let us walk in the light of the Lord. This is the word of the Lord.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to St. Matthew, chapter 8, verses 5 to 11. When Jesus entered Capernaum, a centurion approached him and appealed to him, saying, Lord, my servant is lying at home paralyzed, suffering dreadfully. He said to him, I will come and cure him. The centurion said in a reply, Lord, I am not worthy to have you enter under my roof. Only say the word, and my servant will be healed. For I too am a man subject to authority, with soldiers subject to me. And I say to one, Go, and he goes, and to another, Come here, and he comes, and to my slave, Do this, and he does it. When Jesus heard this, he was amazed and said to those following him, Amen, I say to you, in no one in Israel have I found such faith. I say to you, many will come from the east and the west, and will recline with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob at the banquet in the kingdom of heaven. The Gospel of the Lord.
My dear friends, today we encounter a junior officer of the Roman League who came to Jesus asking to cure one of his workers, one of his servants. My dear friends, it gives us a good lesson, and Jesus makes use of the faith of that person to give us that lesson. We should not take pride in our positions, in our offices, or earthly power or prestige. Sometimes, my dear friends, it becomes a temptation to swell ourselves with pride, with arrogance, with all kinds of indifferences towards people when we are faced with positions, power, and offices. But in the Gospel today, this officer tells Jesus, if I give commands to somebody to go, he will go. If I ask somebody to come, he will come. But he himself has come begging in front of Jesus to cure his servant. My dear friends, that is, Jesus is giving us a lesson through this person so that we will not rely on earthly powers but have faith in Jesus, faith in spiritual power of God in order to receive healing. My dear friends, healing is essential for us as we are going through a spell of this pandemic, as well as all kinds of illnesses and sicknesses that are hampering our physical life. We spend so much on medicine, we spend so much time on seeing doctors and trying to make ourselves better physically and health-wise. But my dear friends, one thing is important, that we keep our faith and trust in God and find divine healing curing us internally. Sometimes, my dear friends, when our internal wounds, when our internal sicknesses are not healed, they get stagnated, they get blocked, they have all kinds of disastrous impact on our well-being. As much as physical blocks, physical illnesses and sicknesses make us more sick, my dear friends, our spiritual worries, our inner wounds, our inner problems, my dear friends, if they are not healed, it will affect our lives, it will affect our relationships, it will affect our family, and we will not be able to go forward, because this inner sicknesses, inner wounds will keep us back. Therefore, my dear friends, we need to present ourselves in front of Jesus, putting aside our pride, our arrogance, whatever positions or power, whether it be political power or social power or economic power. We cannot rely on those powers, but rather on the spiritual power of God, and have faith in Jesus.